everyone, it's Alyssa and this is Always Cinema Chic, the place that encourages you to go out, get dressed up, and watch a movie. So Coco is the latest release from Disney Pixar, and it includes the voices of Anthony Gonzalez, Benjamin Bratt, and Gael Garcia Bernal, and it's directed by Lee Unkrich and co-directed by Adrian Molina. And this is definitely one of the best Pixar movies that I have ever seen, and I love all of the Disney Pixar movies. So Pixar has always been so great at knowing just how to tug the right emotional heartstrings to really get you, and this movie goes above and beyond. It was so emotional and meaningful, and you know, when I saw the trailer, I felt like the trailer didn't give that much away. It was pretty vague, and so I'm going to be the same. Just know that the story is incredible. So it centers on this boy Miguel who lives in Mexico with his family, and they are shoemakers. They've always been shoemakers, but yet Miguel has this kind of desire for music, to play music, to sing, and he's just not sure where it comes from. But the matriarch of the family basically says no to any kind of music. You're not allowed to play music or listen to music, and those are the rules. And Miguel feels like he just doesn't fit in with his family, and so he doesn't understand why he's not able to follow his dream, and he has a little hideaway in the attic that's a tribute to all things music, including his very real obsession with Ernesto de la Cruz, the greatest musician of all time. The story takes place on the Day of the Dead, and through a series of incidents, Miguel ends up going to the shrine of De La Cruz. He breaks into it and he takes the guitar, and at the moment he takes the guitar, he enters into the realm of the dead, because now he's taken something from the dead. And it's at this point that the movie is just so beautiful. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how beautiful the color palette of this film is. So you're dealing with a lot of oranges and magentas, and it's so vibrant but yet comforting. I just kept thinking this movie feels so homey and warm, and it really is perfect for around the holidays because it just kind of felt like a blanket of colors, and you had these pops of the blues and the purples and the reds, and everything just worked together and was so saturated and gorgeous. It felt like things were just almost shimmering at times. I couldn't get over how gorgeous this movie was. And you know, the first scene where you look at where the dead lives, where they reside, it is so real feeling. It is fully dimensional. So what is a 2D movie actually felt like a 3D movie, because there was just so much depth in every single shot. And you know, then there are the skeletons of the dead, which are also so beautiful with these intricate designs on the skulls. There are a few moments in the film that were truly marvelous and macabre. Pixar has created a film where every shot feels like a piece of artwork. This movie is gorgeous, and luckily for us, it's not just visually beautiful, it is such a beautiful storyline as well. So it really focuses on the importance of family, and not just the family that is surrounding you. It makes you think about the family that came before you and those who have passed away and what your lineage is. And you know, me coming from New York, I know that there are so many people around me who are just constantly moving forward, and they don't stop and think, and they get caught up in the minutia of everyday life. And I feel like a movie like this forces you to reflect on your life and who you want to be, and what you want your family life to be like, and to have some sort of balance there. And I love that this takes the Mexican culture and heritage, and it really brings it to life. And if everyone can take traditions from other cultures, I think it would just make everyone, you know, such well-rounded individuals. And this really gave a good amount of depth for a children's movie in terms of giving you that real feeling of Mexican culture and heritage. And this is also such a funny and emotional movie. I mean, at the end of the movie, I was just welling up. I was trying to keep it all in because I knew I would just start bursting out crying, but it wasn't just me because the dad next to me started crying also, which I realized when his kids were like, "Dad, why are you crying?" And then I knew it's not just me. This is a beautiful film, and it's not just emotional and funny. It's also very well written in terms of the whole structure. I don't want to give any plot elements away, but I was very impressed technically with how this film was written. And then don't even get me started on the music in the film because it's just amazing. The moment I left the theater, I was playing the Coco soundtrack from my Spotify account. Anthony Gonzalez, who plays Miguel, just has the most incredible voice, and every time he would sing, I would just end up getting chills. He had such an outstanding voice for a child. And then it was so fun also to hear Benjamin Bratt and Gael Garcia Bernal singing as well. I just love when you realize how multi-talented these actors really are. And that brings me around to the voices. Now, I know it's an animated film and that, you know, people could say, oh, it's very easy to just lend your voice to a character. But there are some people who can really bring that character to life, and then some actors where that character just falls flat. And I have to say that Pixar has certainly found a new talent in Anthony Gonzalez, who brought just so much energy and heart to the film, along with his street dog Dante, who was an awesome animal sidekick. And Bernal provides the perfect amount of melancholy for Hector, which is a trait that we don't often see in these family-friendly animated films. And I was just so impressed with Lee Unkrich, who directed this film. Now, he co-directed Finding Nemo and he directed Toy Story 3, which are both spectacular movies and very emotional, but I really felt like he outdid himself with this one and this storyline. He's also one of the co-writers on this, and I felt like the attention to detail was just so incredible, and I would really recommend that you go and you see this movie in a movie theater so that you can see the intricate detail of every item and every shot. I know I'm going to see it in the theater again one more time because it was just that beautiful. And ultimately, kids are going to like this movie, but I found that it's more for adults and that they will get more out of the overall message of the film. And you know, what I really loved about this is that the characters are not caricatures, which I feel like is a huge pitfall in a lot of animated movies. But here, each character is a real person with real depth, and I felt like I truly knew each of the family members in the film. It was just incredibly well written in that respect as well. And the film is really all about family and, you know, past heartache and finding that thing in life that you are just so passionate about that you lose all track of time. I just loved all of the ideas that were going on in this film, and you know, I can't say enough good things about it, and I know for a fact that this is going to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Film. I can't see how it wouldn't. It really is that great. And I know for me personally, this will definitely be in my top 10 for 2017. So now for the grades. In terms of film and artistry, not a surprise, I would give Coco an A+. This is definitely one of Pixar's best films. The storyline is great, the characters are well developed, the music is really memorable, and the images are just the most beautiful, spectacular images they have ever created. And in terms of watchability, which is how much I enjoyed the movie, that is also an A+. I know I am going to go back to this time and time again. My attachment to the characters is real. I have only seen this once and I love them already. And on a side note, I know that I've mentioned I'm a really big Disney fan in general, but I really am obsessed with Disney World also, and all I kept thinking about is how, oh my God, they can take that section from the Mexican pavilion and get rid of the Three Caballeros and put in Coco. The Three Caballeros, they're not even Mexican, and they're just simply caricatures. So to have something that is actually reflective of Mexican culture, it will just be the most beautiful fit. And they haven't said they're going to do that yet, but after seeing this movie, I have no doubt that they will. They would be ignoring a huge opportunity if they didn't put in something for Coco in the Mexican pavilion. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment below if you've seen Coco. What are some of your favorite Pixar films? I love WALL-E. That's one of my other favorites. But what do you love? So like and subscribe, and remember, it is always in fashion to go out, get dressed up, and make it a cinema chic night. Bye everyone!